Hey, I'm Big B and I Brick, and welcome to another edition of the Lego Sellers Stream. We have with me, as always, my partner in crime, Mr. Foo Bricks.
Hi guys, how's it going?
But also we have special guests this week. We have Admin Jack and Admin Cheyenne, correct? Shane. Sorry.
You can edit that.
we don't edit.
Please do.
So who is everybody in the room? That's probably a better way to start it.
This is Russell.
I'm Edmund Russell.
All right.
This is Jacqueline.
I'm Admin Jacqueline, and then that was Admin Shane.
Admin Shane. All right. Excellent.
I'm good.
Okay, he's good.
I'm just looking through. I'm looking through our questions and whatnot.
Oh, there's some excellent questions that you guys received. We were just talking beforehand. In my opinion, the best move communication-wise that BrickLink has done in years was the mass email that went out, letting people know about the changes that were coming up with the eBay change, or not the eBay changes, with the PayPal changes that were necessary. And I thought that was great. I thought I was very, very happy that came out. But Russell, you were saying that there's some people that still accused you guys of not communicating, even though multiple emails were sent out.
Well, if you just read the forum, you may not see that. Well, you wouldn't know that the email came out. Someone reported in the forum that the email had come out, but still, we were accused of not really communicating. And there was a long time there where we really didn't know what was going on, too, with the marketplace situation, and things were sort of on hold. But as far as the communication thing, email to sellers was a great thing.
It was, and I was very, very happy to see with what your guys' explanation of everything was, because it was exactly what I thought it was. It was basically the transactional commands that would be given from a database to a banking platform, and that's all they were. It was a stop this payment, hold this payment for a minute, reverse this payment. And all of those things are already commonplace on so many other e-commerce sites.
Yes.
It's just, they're scary, scary words if you don't realize that it's a command given by one platform to another.
Right, and we don't even, our system doesn't even support that functionality right now. It's possible, and that's why it was in the merchant agreement. Just so that if we ever need that in the future to guarantee an order or something like that, like buyer protection or some sort of buyer protection on BrickLink, then we would need to be able to do that. But right now, no, we don't plan for that, and it's definitely not. It's not in the works, and our system wouldn't even support it. So.
Okay. All right. So when would you guys like to get it? Do you guys have any announcements to make before we get into all of these questions?
If anyone doesn't know already, so we finally got an answer from PayPal about the missing emails. So when a lot of people switched to Marketplace, they weren't happy because they weren't getting the payment confirmation email, and they had not informed us that was something that would happen. So when we found out about that, we designed up an email so that it also, for instant checkout orders, it will also have the payment status on there as well. So that's definitely going out, and we haven't heard of any problems with it or anything so far.
I haven't had any problems with it yet. I like as a buyer, I like the new multi-stage system where I go to PayPal, then it comes back to BrickLink, and it's basically, are you sure you want to buy this stuff? Which it's an extra click, but I think it's a substantial click as far as it holds value. It gives reassurance to a lot of people that may be experiencing this for the first time, or have little belief in it, or little belief in this, or little belief in that. So
that's common on other any other marketplace website, the payment confirmation step. So yeah.
There's one little tweak we're working on right now. The tweak is to have a payment status type notification for sellers in their order listings, and that will probably help so that they don't have to go to PayPal to look that information up. They can just look it up there.
I got something else that you guys could add in there, so I didn't have to go to PayPal to look it up. E-checks.
Right. I think that's what you meant to say. So that's exactly the issue. So if it's an e-check, it still is considered a valid payment. So it goes through with its in checkout, but it's marked as paid. So now when it's an e-check, technically it has an inter-capture status of pending. So it's considered valid. And most of the time that resolves without an issue. So we still allow that to go through with instant checkout, but now there'll be just a little yellow icon with an exclamation mark that's set. When you hover over it, it will say payment is pending. And then if you click that, it will, I just need to update the payment help page, and it will say, it'll have information about that it's probably an e-check. And it's just taking time to verify with the buyers.
So is this going to be a new step along the way? And is BrickLink going to re-clarify now with automated checkout what each of these stages means? Because it's a little bit, formerly, in order to pull an order correctly, you were supposed to, you received the order, before you did anything, you checked all of your, you were supposed to check all of your parts, all of your pieces, pull the entire order, weigh it, find out what the price was going to be to ship, and then invoice the people. And it was kind of counterintuitive to a fast and immediate process that people were looking for. And a lot of people on their own changed up what the system was, and it went straight from, this is what you bought, this is what you owe, when you pay, let me go pull the pieces, and if I don't have something for some odd reason, you're getting refunded.
Well, everyone has their own sort of workflow and however they handle that, but we do have that. There's a help page with a suggested order procedure, so we can definitely update that to get some advice. And don't spend hours packing an order if you haven't received payment yet, or an e-check pending. Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Just so, I mean, I think that with all these, and it's a lot of work to go into these type of things, because BrickLink was this way for such a long time. And now with introducing the automated payment system, it sort of has, and don't take this the wrong way, because it's not intended that way, it has really brought it into this century.
Oh, yeah.
You know, not that it didn't function and was really great, but now it is, the kids can really dig it because it doesn't remind them of their dad's old modem. You know, if they actually know what a modem is. Right? I'm even dating myself further. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot more counterintuitive to people.
Okay.
So that's a good thing. See what we have for questions here. Is there any chance we can get a way to change prices more easily based upon a country or region sales? I'm not sure this is legal.
Sorry, can you explain that?
My understanding is there any way you can get a change prices more easily based upon a country or region sales, such as if you were in a specific country, you got a discount or an increase in price.
Oh, right.
That already happens to some extent with VAT.
Right, with that, but that's a tax indicated by the country. This sounds as though it's a seller that wants to charge more or less based upon where you are. Like in the state, for instance, if I had some sale where everybody who, you know, is buying from within the state of Pennsylvania gets, you know, a 5% discount.
I'm reading that question another way. I think what they're asking is, let's say you're a seller in Europe and you want to price your items. I want it for the average of what it sold for in Europe, not the entire world. I don't care what North America pays. I want the average for Europe.
Ah, okay.
I think that's what they're asking, is they want to be able to regionalize their pricing, not necessarily go to whole catalog as, you know, 6-month average. They want 6-month average for Europe or 6-month average for USA.
Okay, so you're saying 6 month for a continent, a 6 month for
or even a country.
For that. Okay, I can see that.
Yeah,
Another way, it sounds like price fixing.
Right. It's not. No, I don't think that's what they're trying. I think if you only sell in the USA, you don't care what it sold for in Chile. You want to go with the USA average price. What can
so
you
if you're in Canada and you don't ship out of Canada, you want to only know what it is for Canadians. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Price
and so have heard of this before, and it's something that we would we're just going to add to a list of suggestions for improving the price guide, because that's on the agenda for seller tools. So yeah, we think it's a great suggestion, and I think it will be possible when we update the price guide.
That's going to be a ginormous list, because I have one more to add to that list.
Okay.
Exclude individual sellers from calculation.
That's a good idea.
That's going to be okay. So we've all seen the $3 million red brick.
Right. Yeah.
It would avoid that type of incident where you have one individual throwing off the entire scale.
Yes.
One store that happens to be in Portugal that prices their stuff 300 times what the MSRP is because they've got a couple other of the items for sale in their store as well.
Yes, that's another thing that's been brought up in the past, and we can do different things, but for those ones in the past, we've just either asked them to close their store if they're not serious about selling, or if they are serious and they just have ridiculous prices. There's a certain percentage threshold that we can exclude from the price guide as sort of a way to deal with that.
You could throw a standard D on it, and it would take off the highs and lows and equalize.
Yeah, we can do that. And then people have also requested we can do price guide by item quantity.
Yep.
As well.
That's a good
one. There could also be a ignore if on least favorited list.
Right. And I think
show me just my most favorited list.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could get into there could be a ton of options that are available for the price guide. The price guide has some amazing potential to it.
Yes, and I think that's one of the reasons why we still list every single item that's listed and sold in the price guide, because in order to get really good information, you have to look at that. You can't just look at the averages, right? So you can see the person that's listed something for $30,000 and say, hey, that's the reason everything is so far off. And so I think that's one of the reasons why we have such, why everything is listed there, because you can't just look at the averages at this point and be secure in what you're looking at. So yeah, that would be considered sellers' tools.
Okay.
I think mostly sellers are interested in that more than buyers, maybe.
There's actually a lot of buyers that I've spoken to want to see an expansion of seller tools so that they have a better understanding of what they're paying for their items. They understand that any tool that we get as a seller, they're going to be able to use as well as a buyer, as long as they learn how to use the tool type of deal.
Right.
So, the other one, which is my biggest pet peeve, is that when you are using the wanted lists to put together an order, it defaults to the any instead of defaulting to new or used. It defaults to any, and most buyers do not have a preference of any. They have a preference of new. And unfortunately, as people are becoming more and more competitive in more and more ways, they're now placing their new items for sale to be competitive with the used items on the market in order to be competitive on the wanted list, as you're checking out features. And I noticed this as soon as the wanted list was rolled out years ago, that we started seeing a huge depreciation of the value of all items on the market. And one of the things that I've used to actually follow this and trace this with is your standard 2x4 red brick, because it's not the most common item out there, but it's been in there for forever. And over 60 years, it should have a steadfast concrete price that really doesn't waver. And it's dropped by 30% in 3 years.
Right. Well, the price drop has stopped, at least for now. Sometimes, it fluctuates, but it definitely has stopped going down, mainly in part to our stricter seller policies. So it's not as easy to upgrade to a seller or open a scam account and stuff like that. So there's less sellers. We want the quality of our sellers to be better for our buyers, because there are a lot of non-serious sellers on BrickLink. And we're not getting rid of them, but we're just trying to prevent the non-serious slash scammers from coming in. So that's helped with that. But improving the price guide and then things like that with the wanted list, that's a great idea.
Well, I mean, how difficult I'm going to put pressure on it because I'm expected to. You understand that if I put pressure on it, I'm not trying to be a dick specifically to you or anybody at BrickLink. But it's been 3 years. It's been 3 years. Why can't we just make that little switch in the code where it's a radio button type of functionality? Right. I mean, it is pretty easy to code out for that change to be made, and it has been detrimental to the entire marketplace for 3 years. Yet that code change hasn't been changed and hasn't been taken seriously. And I feel bad because I'm putting you guys on the spot.
No,
but, I mean, this is a big thing, and a lot of people want to see BrickLink to survive for forever. There is some incredibly snide, I doubt BrickLink is going to make it another week type of comments questions on the forum that I won't even get near. But I mean, but the thing is these type of very small changes that are really more important than they're given credit to are just passed aside. You know, oh, there's bigger things, more important things that we need to do. We have to put together this. We have to feature that.
Right. So that has that ever been even talked about? I don't.
It's hard for us to say something concretely right now because we don't know the reasons why things were kept. There's a lot of development ideas that happen that we do not know exactly what has happened or why. Sometimes it's just an oversight. Sometimes things were done intentionally. I imagine that the concern was that if you set it to new by default, that a lot of users who were using the feature would maybe think that BrickLink didn't have a lot of the parts that it has, especially like the older versions, which are almost exclusively, used quantities. However, maybe there could be something done where people would be presented with that choice when they start using it. Say, have some pop-up or something, choose new or used, so that they don't accidentally just always have it sitting on
right. So thank you.
There'd be a user preference, sort of like the same thing, and I'm going to beat you up again. The same thing as is how do I like to buy my bricks? Do I like to see them sorted by this, and how many do I want to see per page? They're all user preferences. Unfortunately, on that one, BrickLink removed it 3 years ago as well.
Was that part of the?
That's another request I've heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that is something we have talked about. No, specifically the defaulting to new. I don't think we've talked about that specifically, but we're talking about the mobile project and making everything mobile responsive and trimming down some of those pages for the mobile site. And we have that concern of certain settings that may be forgotten, especially on a mobile device, that maybe you're looking for something and you want it so bad that you may actually go for the used items, but you set your shopping preferences or your wanted list settings to new only. So that's so we're going to hopefully have something where if that happens, and there'll be some sort of suggestions like on
there could be a pop-up that said, hey, there's none available in new. And if there was, it's like 300% what you need to pay. You should really get used. I mean, that's a little bit more complex coding, but so you guys have the thought process in mind already for that.
Yes. So I can definitely bring that up for your wanted list suggestion, because I think it's a great idea. Because if we compared, I don't know the exact numbers, but comparing how many people buy new versus used parts, I think it's like
it really depends on the buyer.
Right.
It depends upon the buyer and it depends upon the project. But if you're looking at, I would say just a common piece that has been in circulation for a long period of time. Most people prefer new unless it's going to be like bulk brick base, something they're working on for a project that involves children, or it's just a really rare piece that, honestly, they'd pay 300 times as much for new than they would used. Maybe a chromed light.
Yeah, well, hopefully that'll be addressed with the mobile project, which is going on right now, and it should be ready hopefully by the end of the summer. No guarantees, but that should hopefully be addressed, and we can make an option to default to whichever you prefer, and then have suggestions if there's nothing there, so that you don't miss anything. So
That sounds good. I'm good with that. Thank you. Appreciate it.
good.
Sorry, I put a little bit of pressure on you, but I mean, I'm taking a little bit from the animosity that's in the questions, I think.
Well, I've got a friendlier question that I can bring up, and actually has to do with mobile. And you may or may not have the answer to this, but I know you're trying to make the website mobile friendly. We talked about that last time. And what I want to know is, once the mobile stuff is done, is there going to be a mobile version for sellers when we're pulling orders, where it easily shows our remarks and the item with a picture? You know, we can be on our phone pulling an order, scrolling through, picking items. That would be a seller's dream for me, is to be able to easily see what the item is, what color, what drawer location, so on.
Right. Yeah, it is something we've discussed for seller tools as well, having some sort of like picking mode when you're looking at the order summary, so that you can set it up to your inventory room, so that it's easier to sort of navigate and pick and pack orders, because we understand the tedious process at times. So yes, we're gonna take care of that with seller tools. Definitely.
Awesome. That's.
I think I like the way it is now, because you guys have the option to put in the checkbox, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that we're doing right now is in terms of mobile, we're trying to actually make the site as it is more mobile friendly, so that if you do end up using a phone, even before we get this other thing rolled out, that it should be a lot easier. We've already made some headway on that too, I think.
So am I going to be able to use my Internet Explorer browser to do this, or am I going to be forced to use one of those new fancy upgraded super browsers like Mosaic or Chrome?
Well, we hate to say, yeah, I think that the browser issue.
Oh, we are. When I used to be in the corporate world, when we were coding something out for applications, we were just basically like, yeah, if you're using Internet Explorer, then just go take a class.
Well, I didn't say that, but
I did. Well, no, I bring this up because there are so many different mobile platforms, or there are so many different browsers out there. Plus, you've got the add-on of different browsers that are available for Linux-based, and there's different browsers that are based for Mac-based. And which ones do you honor, and which ones don't you? And how much time do you really put into what used to be a standard that no longer is a standard for probably your buying base? You know, do you have a developer that is forward thinking enough to I'm sure they are. I'm just putting this out there because that will look at, okay, what percentage of people use this on our website?
Oh yeah, of course.
Of people, yeah, and if they don't see something on there with any type of real numbers, you're probably not going to be coding to it.
Correct. But if there's a user that's contacting us and they have a really old browser, we try to help them through that. But if they're really, comfortable with a certain browser and something's just really not working, of course, we'll try to fix that for them.
And we QA in different browsers too. So.
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't mean Axe Internet Explorer. It's just it's an easy target.
Personally, I'm not a fan of it.
I am a big fan of scaling the pages properly, so that as people on mobile devices go from side to side to side, it stays the same and it stays consistent. I'm very happy that's going to be happening. I think that's a huge venture, and that'll be a huge improvement for the draw of buyers, which I really want to see a lot more of.
Of course, and but it's not going to be every single page on BrickLink yet, because we have hundreds, and so we're going to consolidate and just make it easier for people to find what they're looking for, and so that we don't have to really get rid of much. So
I'm assuming by this point there's not a static page for everything on BrickLink, and there's dynamics and there's templates that are used, and it's just tags filling in the templates and going from there. And once you have a system of templates, all you got to do is standardize the templates, and then the site looks a lot better. So
Well,
But it takes time as we discussed in the last meeting to unravel the code.
Right, and we don't want to do everything all at once. I mean, we could, but then there would be so many side effects, and they would went out. They might think the site's been hacked, or So it's just slow and steady. That's our plan. But one at a time.
I like it. Slow and steady wins the internet. Slow and steady wins the internet.
Some people think we haven't changed anything, but then if you look at how the landing page looked 4 years ago, it's it's almost unrecognizable. So most people didn't notice. Well, forum users, of course, they know nothing gets past them, but there are little things here and there that some people actually didn't notice, and we were pretty surprised about.
Tell us how you really feel. What about improvements in bandwidth coming forward? I have noticed some slowage. Not as many of the pop-up, or not pop-up, of the errors that we were getting about 6 months ago, where it was no communication with the site or a slow DB. But as you bring on more mobile users or more users, you'll of course be going through and burning through more bandwidth.
Right. I haven't been in that's something that's being discussed in the technical teams meetings, and even though we do technical support, we're the admin team. So, but I believe that has been discussed, and of course it would make sense because we need to have that to support much more users.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, I'm sure by this point you guys are Amazoning all of this, and you've got devices over there with them, and it's scalable per need and everything else.
Yes, and we can always change. That will probably just get adjusted to accommodate the needs, but I don't know for sure. So as far as I know, that we're staying with Amazon
and I think some slowdowns too. We were talking about browsers earlier. One of the reasons we really encourage people to use the newer browsers and have those updated is because it really does make a big difference in performance. I myself didn't start using better browsers or newer browsers until I actually started working for BrickLink, and I found that my time was greatly improved by making the switch. Of course, there were things I had to get used to, but I think that's one of the things we can't really. There's some things we can't improve on, and that's the performance of that old software. And when I talk to the technical staff, they're comfortable with how BrickLink performs, but there are things that happen, like when you have a lot of requests that come in, or there's accidents, things like that. I think that are things that can't be prevented.
Yes.
Unless you have a massive system where everything is,
you've got a herd of code monkeys that are sitting there just trying every single possible conceivable anything. No, I get it. I've been in that situation.
Yeah. Well, and we've tightened our rules as far as like the API and server-side traffic. So if someone's like sending too many requests to our system, it slows down the site for everyone, and that was like a pretty bad problem. At the end of 2017, excuse me. So we tightened our rules with that, and our database manager is always just keeping an eye on the traffic, and we sent out some pretty strict warnings, which wasn't fun to do, but had to be done because everyone was getting those timeout errors and the 500 errors and stuff like that. So.
All right. I'm glad I didn't get one of those. I didn't get one of those, so I must not be doing anything wrong. I'm not intrusive enough. So bueno. Well, just so you guys know, I pull orders on an original Galaxy Tab. Okay. And I've got no problems pulling orders on an original Galaxy Tab. So
a lot of sellers use their tablet. Yeah. So we're going to optimize the pages that sellers use when they're picking orders, like the orders received page and the order summary for those devices as well.
Well, when they're looking through that, that's me. I'm probably the only person that's still using that device.
Okay, well, I'll let the developers know.
Let Sean know that. Is Sean our developer in the room?
Shane,
I think.
Shane. Sorry.
Oh, he's done development in the past, but he mostly does site admin stuff and customer service with me. Developers have been doing it for 10 years plus. So.
All right. This is my backup device. It's some Amazon thing.
Oh.
I, for one, have joined the modern world. I have an iPhone 7, so that's a little more up to date than the original tab. But I pull orders with it, and there is kind of a zoom scroll issue, which is why I brought it up for similar mode. But on tablets, you're probably okay because the screens are bigger. But phones, the check boxes when you're pulling an order can be a little tiny.
Oh my God, those are but that's what I'm saying. Like I literally have like a $20 Android device that I'm successfully pulling orders on. It's got an 8.5-inch screen. I'll take this one as a seller. I would honestly tell somebody, like, go spend some money, man. Go improve your system, up your infrastructure.
Well, I understand because I do catalog work from my phone, from my Galaxy. So the zooming in and the little check boxes, and it's difficult. Yeah, but you get kind of used to it.
Yeah, you do.
We still want to improve it, definitely, so that we can invite more users in to contribute and sell and all that kind of stuff.
And that paves the way for things like Android Pay, Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, maybe one day.
Yes, definitely. We are definitely interested in other payment providers.
Me too.
Who else are we working on? Or are we talking about people who will accept money?
Yeah.
What was the name of that? What was the name of that other one that you'd like to see, Fu?
Which? Oh, you mean Alipay?
Well, Alipay would be great. I think that I think that we're completely missing out not having Alipay.
And Venmo.
Venmo.
Yeah.
Venmo is a PayPal.
It's a PayPal company, yes.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
They bought Venmo last year.
Yeah, they bought Venmo, but Alipay. You've got a quarter of the world's population plugged into Alipay. That's a new venture for us right there. I've got no problem shipping to China. Send them. They want real brick. They're sick of that Leppin over there. They want the real Lego.
Yeah, as they should.
They should.
Well, we do have we have contacted the major companies, the payment processors in like certain the big countries in Europe, and so I forget exactly what they're called, but there's one in the Netherlands and in Germany, and
is it IBAN?
Right, and we would ideally like to have that on site, but when we looked into it, it's still basically the same amount of steps and the same amount of time, and it's not really on site because you still have to contact their bank and do off-site processing in some way. So it wasn't really on site. It wasn't really changing much. So that was something I was pushing for a lot because our European sellers, when we got rid of that as a payment method, they're not happy. So we brought that back pretty quickly.
So when you reference big countries in Europe, are you referencing the actual geographical size of the country or the amount of brick they buy?
Correct.
That's all I care about. Good.
Yes. So there's a big BrickLink population in that country, then yes, of course.
Yes.
And they have been requesting that, and it's some of them are just not going to work with our system as it is now. But when we upgrade it and have the mobile site, I think it should be hopefully possible.
All right. You ready for your softballs?
Very, very open to that. Oh, okay.
Here comes your softballs.
Okay, cool.
Is it true that American cuisine is very bad?
Oh, you mentioned that. You saw that on the forum. I guess it depends. If you're going to like TGI Fridays, you should make much.
Applebee's is the worst. Never go there.
I didn't even know that there was any difference between Applebee's and TGI Fridays and any of those.
Shane's not a fan of Applebee's, but
I would just assume they're all under the same name brand. But then you get into the route of barbecue, and no, that's just insulting. What do you do?
Right. So I haven't been to Texas and had the barbecue there, but I hear it's just out of this world. So and the Mexican food in the area that we live in Southern California is fantastic.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
But that's not American cuisine.
That's true. So I'll have to agree with that.
Real American food. I'll chime in on this one too.
There we go.
Shane's area.
So in Southern California, if you've ever been here, we have In-N-Out Burger. I can consider that American food as one of the biggest
Yeah,
hamburger.
but hamburgers
You can technically
come
consider
from
that.
Germany.
Well, it is an American thing, though, I guess.
We just rip off everything.
That's true.
Hold on, are we seeing the BrickLink offices, like the cubicles and all that over there?
Yeah.
Is that BrickLink land right there? Okay, so this this needed to be shown because people think that there's like 2 people and a cat that run BrickLink.
Oh. Well, there are 3 of us in here, and I have 2 cats. So
See, that's already more than what people think. That's already 1 person and a cat more than what the assumption was.
no, we have 16 people now, 16 in this office, and hopefully expanding soon. So we're gonna have to move.
Right, and you also have a contingent of IT people overseas, as well as some code monkeys over there. So you're spread out across the globe.
Well, we have our studio team, the CAD software. They're in Korea, but they're going to be moving over here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're trying to get everyone together so that's just easier to collaborate and get things fixed and improved.
And will you guys still be located in California?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You guys aren't going to be upping and moving someplace cheaper.
Unfortunately, no. Well, I'm from here, so I'm happy to be here.
I mean, BrickLink is in the center of technology in California, so it's quite an expensive place to run a business.
That is correct.
Yes.
Expensive place to rent too, that's for sure. But yeah, we like it here.
Next softball, how's the weather there?
Fantastic.
It's lovely.
It's California.
72 degrees right now.
72 and sunny. We're spoiled. We're very spoiled.
Okay, here's another one that I'd like to know what plans BrickLink has to make the site more visible. I've not seen an overt ad on the site on a specialist Lego site, or in Bricks, Blocks, or Hespa Brick Magazine, or in more general toy website. There's some partnership referrals in place with sites like Brickset and Rebrickable, but I think the site would benefit for some self-promotion in the wider community. And the next one says that he's talked to AFOLs that don't know what BrickLink is, but I don't think those are actual AFOLs.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I haven't met an AFOL that hasn't heard of BrickLink, but I have met Lego fans that haven't heard of BrickLink.
Yeah, I've met Lego fans that have never heard of BrickLink, but I've never met an AFOL that's never heard of BrickLink. I have heard of. I do know AFOLs that have never heard of BrickOwl, but none of them that have never heard of BrickLink.
Correct. Right. Same here. So we just need to turn more people into AFOLs and get them into BrickLink, and so yeah, definitely. We are going to do more search engine optimization and spend a bit more time on marketing to let people know about the community and the website. So yes, definitely. We're on right now. Forgive me. So much in my brain right now. So much going on, but more on the Brothers Brick. We have a banner advertisement, and Beyond the Brick, we are sponsoring them this year. So all of their videos have our little intro at the beginning. And we're definitely open to more, and we're sponsoring way more Lego conventions, just even the smaller ones. I'm trying to go to as many as I can and just meet as many of the Lego fans that have never heard of BrickLink and try to convert them. So,
you guys ever considered sponsoring YouTube channels?
Yes, we're sponsoring Beyond the Bricks, their YouTube channel. So yes, I'll have my people talk to new people.
So no chance for me. Okay.
Or we'll just talk later. But yeah, definitely open to all of these things, and especially if it's someone in the community that is just trying to spread the word. Yeah, we love that.
All right, and let's see. I don't know how to pronounce this name. It's French. Will the names of French regions be corrected before the? That doesn't sound like French either.
Oh.
Before the 21st and a half century. I think that like France has got a bunch of like sort of scattered countries that don't consider themselves French, but are considered French by their tax code. That means by a business they are French, but in nationality they're not.
So right. So first of all, hi Sylvan. Yeah. So the first time he asked, I did write it up, and I think that was back when we had Redmine, and it was, by the time it was updated, France had updated their regions again, so it was different than what we had done. So as far as I know, those were updated again recently, within the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Is there a list that businesses subscribe to that do all of this work for the businesses? Like they just pay $100 a month and it updates all of this happy governmental crap for them?
Yes, there's APIs we could subscribe to, and I'm pretty sure that we've brought this up before, and there was some sort of technical issue. I'd have to have our technical director in here to ask him. But...
No. You guys just looking into it is enough for me at this point. Like people think that you. No. Honestly, like I always play devil's advocate with you. But you get the fact that I know that you guys do all this shit. Like you guys have done the research for all of this stuff.
Of course.
People think the worst. If people can think the worst, they will.
Yeah, we discussed most, probably all of these things, and then there's certain discussions that we're not even a part of, and decisions we're not even privy to why they were made. So, yeah, but we do consider these things. We're not just ignoring everything on the forum and all of that stuff. No, we're definitely paying attention.
All right, you addressed that one already. What about what does best price exactly mean? I think they're talking about wanted list as far as best price, and it's more. There's a lot of people that had addressed how exactly is my calculation done on with the wanted list tool when it's finding me the best price. And I've always wondered this as well with the Mosaic, because I've done a couple of the Mosaic searches for them, and you know, I've had to blast out my my wanted list.
Hi. We have a visitor. Are you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay.
She's so cute.
He's today's PB.
So I would have to do the exact algorithm, but from as far as I know, there's several factors, if they're domestic or international, so how far they are from you, and the average, their most recent, I don't know how recent orders, what they charge for shipping, and try to get sort of like an average value for that. And so I think it's obviously if you least favorite them, or you know they don't ship to you, so all of those things would be considered, but I would have to double check exactly. But
I wouldn't expect anybody to hand out any proprietary information of exactly how your algorithm works.
Right, but
I think what they're touching on with a lot of this is there a possibility that somebody that doesn't have shipping set up going to benefit along with this calculation, because now instead of their shipping being an X, it's a 0, and now they're way ahead of the curve on somebody that actually has it set up properly. Have those type of things been thought out in the process as the process has evolved over the past few years?
Yeah, of course, because we definitely don't want anyone manipulating the system and for a buyer to be disappointed. So yeah, but that's something I would have to ask our technical director, because a lot of that information is just in his head, and you know, English isn't his first language, so sometimes it stays there. But as far as I know, yeah, it's definitely been considered, and so that it actually is best price instead of someone who's just trying to make it look like the best price.
Well, people might not even be trying to make it look like that. If, for instance, they just didn't have the auto shipping set up, and they were they were a competitive store, they could benefit from it without even realizing it.
Yeah, well, that's something I'll find out for you, and I'll let you know. I'll update you.
All right.
But yeah, we definitely need to make that a bit more clear about what best price is.
Will there be any type of beta for the sellers tools, and if so, how do we sign up?
So I don't have any date for that now, but once that will be available, and yes, of course, we want to do a lot of user testing to make sure that it's doesn't bomb, because I've seen a lot of deployments that just haven't gone great. So we're being a lot more careful about it now. And yes, I'll let everyone know. I'll send out an email probably to all sellers to let them know about it. We're going to start off with, and it may not be until next year. I'm hoping we at least start it this year, but we're focusing on mobile right now and fixing everything that's broken, anything that's broken. So it'll start with the seller dashboard with that useful information about your sales and stuff like that. So that will be like the core feature, and we'll start with that, and then we'll just keep releasing new features along with it and stuff like that. So, but yes, definitely want.
And you guys will be seeking outside input on these things as they step along. Which is,
Yes.
I'm very open about the fact that the reason why I do this is because I want to be included in that open group of
Oh, of course.
question askeys. You know?
Yes. Yeah.
This is my life now. Oh.
Yeah, and any feedback, of course, any desired features can just be sent to the help desk right now, which is customer support at BrickLink.com or admin at BrickLink.com. And yeah, Shane and I are behind the help desk, and any feedback I get for seller tools, I add it to a spreadsheet. So once we start working on it, we'll make sure all of those seller requests are dealt with.
All right. I got to tell you, I do appreciate Admin Russell sort of drudging through the trenches of the forum and being very open about the fact that he's drudging through the trenches of the forum and putting himself out there and not replying back with the same snide tone as he's received. Like incredible poise under fire. I think I just lost them.
Oh,
and we lost BrickLink.
We only had 10 minutes to go. All right, maybe it'll come back shortly.
They'll come back. It's not like they lost internet for their whole building. Hold on, let me check to see if is BrickLink up.
Just pushed it.
Oh, and they're back.
Did you press the big red button?
No,
We
well,
were
no,
just
it's not
talking about
right.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
That was great timing.
It was.
It was just a bad question. No.
Just how well you did.
I try. Of course, I was in the forum since about 2008, and I've always been. Well, I've frequently been among the top 10 posters, so I feel very comfortable in the forum, and I feel like it's something that really helps with catalog and inventories submissions to see activity in the forum for that reason. But I've started doing some other things in the forum recently, just because I feel like they need to be done. And I think we're going to try to make the forum into a place where more people feel welcome, and also that it's more informative and easier to read.
Yeah. So just for instance, like I posted my thing saying that this was going to happen, and you had less than a day to submit questions. And a person replied in, well, I hope I get this in time. I don't know what time you posted this. BrickLink doesn't have time zones. And like the next post is, hey, fool, go look at the timestamp, blah, 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 yada, yada. It's just like, this encourages people. Like I think there's just people that like to hate each other.
Well, we did learn from all those things. I think one of the issues was that we used to have a timestamp at the bottom of every page, but that was taken off for some reason. And so maybe that's a sign that people really don't know what BrickLink time is. And maybe we should even rethink the idea of BrickLink time and just have everybody be on a time. But
we have discussed it, though.
Yeah, we have discussed that.
I say put them all on East Coast, center of the world time zone.
I think that you have a point there where the some of the attitudes in the forum have gotten a little bit over the top, and so we can work on that. But it's a tough thing because you can't write rules for every scenario that comes up in the forum, and for everything that someone might possibly.
And you honestly wouldn't want somebody to. I mean, we're all supposed to be adults.
Right.
Right, and then we get accused of censorship and.
Right. If we have to cancel a post and it has a good idea in it, the good idea gets canceled along with everything else. And so that's unfortunate. And we don't like to ban people either because that makes our community smaller. But there's some things that just have to be done if you're going to have a good.
And redacting would look even worse.
Yeah,
redacting.
And then there's a lot of communication that goes on off of the forum that people don't see that we wouldn't feel comfortable, bringing up on the forum. in a public. It'd be nice if people kind of took that into consideration as well, that there's just, and we always make decisions together as a team, as three. If someone's going to get banned or if we're going to cancel a post, we always discuss it together if a moderator has already done it, and try to come to a kind of like, I don't know if it really violates the rule specifically, then yeah, it's not something that we just willy-nilly or when we're in a bad mood. Definitely not. If one of us were in a bad mood, we'd say, okay, don't cancel any posts right now. Don't even go on the forum. We wouldn't allow it because you just want to cancel everything.
You don't want to go near it.
If I'm in a bad mood, I'm like, do not let me read the forum. So
So am I now do I have to guess who Russell was on the forum before he left?
No.
Is that a secret?
No, it's not a secret at all. My old account, and I use it. I actually posted there yesterday because I did an inventory change request. My old account is Viejos, and I was here, I think, since 2008. So
okay.
I just have a different account because I didn't want to merge all of my feedback in.
No. It makes sense, dude. It makes sense for you not to use your real name on the forum or anything that you ever want to go back to.
Right. So I've crossed the line.
True. Yes. No. Yeah.
Well, no. There used to be an international lawyer that was in the forum all the time, and I was wondering if that was you.
Foster, and no, he's not Foster. Sorry. No, he's not Foster. I was like just scared there for a second, but no.
I was just wondering. Okay.
No, I'm familiar with that person, and no, it's not him. I think he's just taking time off of the forum because it was stressful, as far as I know.
I have no idea. I have no hate for anybody, so.
Good. Neither do I.
I have one seller tool feature request that I think we touched on last time, but I just want to reiterate again. Okay. I know when we sell on BrickLink, our seller fees accumulate, and every month I'd like to be able to set up an option to either auto bill my PayPal and or credit card, just so it's automatically you guys get paid. I don't have to worry about crap. I forgot to pay my store shut down now.
Yeah. Right.
Just kind of like eBay does. eBay does the same thing.
Right. And yeah, it's something that some people are very against and don't want. If you ask the forum, they would say, no, don't do that. You're greedy and you're taking our money. But yeah, a lot of other sellers have requested that. So it's something that is possible with PayPal marketplaces. So
exactly. Yeah.
Could happen eventually, but
are you talking about about being billed at each transaction, or just automatic billing when the time comes?
Either or, right? With each transaction, or just auto pay.
Once a month.
Right.
So I accumulate $100 in fees in a month. I just want a one-time $100 shot, either taken from PayPal or my credit card.
I think both are possible with PayPal marketplaces. So, but yeah, so definitely something that we would consider, especially with seller tools. So it would probably be addressed with seller tools.
It doesn't have to be mandatory. Just make it optional.
Right. Yeah. It would be optional. Definitely.
But I'd love to have it to turn on. That's all.
Yeah. Changing the billing system and running two simultaneously is going to be painful, but it's going to be necessary if we're going to change anything. So, and everyone would get plenty of advanced warning if that were to change. So.
What about bringing back PayPal credit as an option with the buyer tools?
PayPal credit is an option with PayPal marketplaces, as far as I know. That's what we were told.
When I check out to pay, I'm not given the option, and when I select more options, I'm not given the availability to pick PayPal credit.
Okay, so I'll look into that, because as far as I was aware, it wasn't available with Adaptive, the old system, but that it would be with the new system. So I'll just have to get that.
It was not. Yeah, you're correct. It was not with the old one, but if you used a manual link click-through process,
great.
You on-site allowed it, and that was one of the reasons why so many people wanted to keep on-site, was for that PayPal credit, because there's buyers out there that rely upon the PayPal credit.
Yeah, so I will look into that and find out, because I thought that was on the agenda for marketplaces, but if you're saying that it's not working, then I'll check and see if it's just it
works when I'm paying my monthly bill to you guys.
Okay.
It doesn't work when I'm trying to buy from a store.
Okay. Any store, or is it when are you sure it's PayPal Marketplace's store with the confirm payment step?
I I've tried it each time that I bought.
Okay. I'll look into that because it should be, if it's a seller that's connected to the old system, then it won't work. And then as far as I know, it should be working with anyone that's connected to marketplaces. But I'll find out and I can post.
You're going to know better than me because you can see all of that information behind the scenes, and you know what I do already.
Yeah. Well, if it's not working, then it's either it was taken out and maybe I'm mistaken, or it could be a bug. So I'll definitely for you and keep you posted.
I'm using Chrome. You already know that.
Good. That's mine as well.
Let's see. We've got that question covered. That snideness covered. All right. Should I even read the whole cockpit question?
Oh, I've seen that one.
You guys want to pick that one apart?
Oh, who's in the cockpit? I asked. Or it looks like there's no one in the cockpit. That's what they said.
It's right here.
Oh.
You want to take that one, Shane?
I don't want to. I'm not.
So what's the
All right,
question?
no, we'll skip it.
If you want to.
I don't have a lot of time. I have an appointment, but I can be a little bit late.
It's right here. It's a lengthy one. I read it yesterday.
Have you picked out a good question from that, or?
No, it wasn't really. It was all sliding.
Yeah, it was.
When will we have more detailed explanation of what may or may not be included in seller tools?
When we start working on it again. So we were planning stages end of 2017, and then we had to refocus and kind of put that on the back burner. So we're focusing on mobile right now, and then when that's completed, hopefully by fall season time, then we'll nail down everything in seller tools and have all that decided, and then we can
Might I suggest not rolling out anything new until May? When things die down as far as the selling goes.
Yeah, I mean, we try to time releases
at the start.
Yeah, no. We definitely take that into consideration. We don't want to roll anything out when it's like a really busy shopping day. Of course. So, and everything thoroughly tested, and so yeah, you don't have to worry. But
for those that don't get it, like I'm joking about that. I realize that they as a company have the complete understanding and knowledge that they shouldn't do that type of stuff. It's just other people.
Yes. But at least, I mean, it's good for other people to hear that we do consider that as well.
So I've got to let you know what I brought up to you the last time we had an interview. I had jokingly said to you, why don't you guys go out and buy brick stock? There was so many responses from sellers all over the world that was just like, that is the best idea ever in order to keep us happy for another year. So many people were just like, yes, if you can just sync those damn things, we would be good.
Well, I have brought it up to the team, and technically you can't buy it because it's open source, but you
guys can take over development of it.
Right. So it is and has been discussed. So
or even just helping the developer who's got it right now fix his code so that it auto updates.
Right. Patrick. Right.
Because it does. He downloads like once a week on it.
I know there are issues. There are issues with BrickStock right now, and
yeah, we should.
But there was a bigger output of support on that than I had anticipated. So many people were just like, "Yes, please, yes, please, like do this, and we will wait for forever for the seller tools. As long as we have something, give us something."
Right. Yeah. Obviously, ideally, we'd like to have a similar system, with seller tools. But I've used it myself. I mean, plenty of times, and I understand the value of it and how important it is. So, it's definitely something we'll consider, and we'll keep you posted on that as well.
Yeah. I mean, I make little deals with people. Like Fu recently got me a magnet set out of New York. The magnet is not broken down on BrickLink. So my deal with him to make his life easier in the future is I will now inventory this, give it to BrickLink, and have them put it out there so that when Fu goes and re-ups, his job's easier. that's easier to do in Brickstock.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare on BrickLink. And this question comes from because there was someone who wanted to know about quickly drafting or putting together a list of parts of used stuff. You know, somebody gets a bag of bulk used, they want to know what's in there, they start putting it up for sale after they've checked it, and it's just like it takes a while. So.
Yeah. I have one thing to say about that. If you have, there's a feature on BrickLink called Appears In, and a lot of people don't know about it because it's sort of hidden, and we really need to move it out to somewhere where people can find it.
Yes.
But you can look up to 3 things at one time, special pieces, and that will often give you a whole range of sets that where that lot originally came from, and that makes it so much easier to put those parts into your inventory when you're choosing from inventories, as opposed to just having to find each piece in the catalog.
You're saying there's something that I can put 3 pieces in and it'll tell me what sets those 3 pieces came in?
Yes. There is a feature page. There's a tab called Appears In, and once you get to the tab, you have to hit another link to make it so that there's 3 slots to fill in. But it's a very powerful. I would actually like to expand it to 5 parts. And you could.
Oh, I just found it. That's a great. I'm going to show people this.
Yeah, and there's a lot of little hidden features like that make BrickLink more useful, but people don't know anything about them. So that's another thing we have on the agenda, is just to make all these features more obvious, so that people can use them.
Well, you guys can come on here as frequently as you want, and we can talk about all these little features, because this is a great little thing right here that I had forgotten about. I did not know that it expanded to be 3 items.
Right.
So
yeah, should expand it would be helpful to get 5 on there, but yeah, I really think maybe we should make that so it's permanently expanded. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't see any reason to use that page except that you're using the expand.
Yeah, if I just have one part, I can go look at the catalog.
Right.
Right.
Wow, thanks for schooling me. I appreciate that. I like skipping.
Yeah, that Russell taught me that as well, to be honest with you. So it's something unknown that we need to tell people about. Lots of little things like the wild card search and stuff like that. A lot of people don't even know. So. All right. I have to leave pretty soon. But yeah, we could always, if you have time later, we could always do some more questions.
Yeah.
I just have an appointment. That's all.
No, that's fine. I've got to pick up a kid from a bus stop in a half an hour as well. If this time of the day works better for you guys, this works a lot better for me as well. I'm a lot more at ease because I don't have to pay attention to what the chat is saying and what they're trying to get me to say to you. So
same, yeah, and I don't have my toddler like trying to break into my bedroom and screaming in the background and stress me out. And then if there's a Russell related question, you know, or Shane, you know, they're right here. So, and just makes it a lot easier. Yes, definitely. Sunday nights I'm crazy busy.
Well, yes, it is, and then it comes down to being exhausted from doing an interview that's high energy to pulling orders and getting them out with, you know, a 1-day turnaround. So
I can imagine, yeah.
Yeah, fun, good times, good times.
But yeah, no, definitely. In the morning or afternoon during the week is totally fine for us because we can just use the conference room.
All right, Russell, you're up for doing this again?
Oh, totally. Yeah, very much so. Appreciate it.
We haven't scared you.
No. I really
thought there's like this whole weird online personality thing that I try to do, but I'm not this person in real life.
No, I try to be real with everyone, but I think it's really positive that you were able to post in the forum and get mostly constructive, ideas and questions for us. I think I was very pleased with how that.
I think that's because most people realize that I'm going to call them a fool and tell them to F off.
Right. Yeah. If I had asked for questions, it would have been like, "Are you doing your job?"
I thought about that after I asked you. I was like, "Well, it's probably better if I do that."
Yeah, I'm like, he didn't even wait for my response. I'm like,
it is my show.
He knew what I would say. Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Definitely want to leave it up to you, and yeah, people may feel more comfortable asking than me. So I don't know. But yeah, thanks for having us or having me and us. Great.
No problem. How do I get a BrickLink 1x8 Brick, and how do I get a BrickLink shirt?
So
I will buy them. I will buy them. I don't
um,
expect anything special. I will buy them if I can. Do you
I
guys
have
have is there merchandise coming?
Yes. So we're gonna hopefully have a merch store. We're gonna start doing with a sort of a pilot at our next convention, and maybe just sell some T-shirts to AFOLs at a good price, and then give some away, giveaways and stuff like that. So, but I have the 1x8s, and I'll send them to you. But the T-shirts I'm ordering today. So
okay, because I am a billboard. I mean, I am a large mammal.
I'll make you a special one.
All right. It could take 2 or 3 shirts.
Did we tell them we're going to be at Brick World?
Yeah, we're gonna be at Brick World.
That's what we mean by our next big convention.
Right. Yeah, we're just gonna sell on the private AFOL days, and if we get the T-shirts in time, and we're gonna do a few presentations, and then we'll be at BrickCon as well. I don't know exactly what we're doing, but
right.
And I'll be at Bricks by the Bay. That just got added to my schedule. So
all right, last question for you.
Okay.
Is the BrickLink Tell Your BrickLink Story still a thing?
It could be. I loved it because the stories were just so funny and heartwarming. But the person who was working on it no longer, was it somewhere?
I'm not sure.
The main person working on it moved back to Korea and is now on the studio team doing more project management and QA. So it's just no one really took over that. So I would love to get started again once we have the resources for it.
Okay.
So yeah,
fair enough. That's a fair enough answer.
So I would love to bring it back. It's not around right now, but definitely interested in bringing it back. So if you have
I enjoyed that. I know a lot of it was one of those seller enjoyable things where we got to as a seller I got to read other people's stories and sort of be like, on it. So
no, it's like one of my favorite parts of being AFOLs or BrickLink sellers is hearing about how they started their store and how they got started on BrickLink and everything. So yeah,
there's some good stories out there.
Oh yes, and we'd love to hear them. So yeah, if you send them to us, then I have more material to just convince my boss that we need to spend more time on it. So
all right.
Yeah, definitely.
Anybody got anything else, Fu?
I think that's it. Anything else to mention?
Just want to thank you guys for BrickLink for being on today, joining us. Thanks for asking the questions.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Hope to see you again soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to plan this out for next month?
Yeah. If you want to make me to check my schedule right now?
No. We'll do it off camera in a second.
Okay, cool.
I'm just getting you on camera as saying yes, so that.
Okay. Definitely. Yeah, it's 10 past. I have to get going. I'm 10 minutes. But, yeah, thank you again.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next month.
We'll talk soon.
Yes, definitely.
And I'm sure I'll talk to you before that anyway. And I'll send you your.
I hope not. I hope there's not more craziness.
Oh yes, same here. Speak to you next month.
Later.
Bye, guys.
Right.
All right, that actually went well. I was surprised.
Yeah, it went great.
Even better than the first one. And we had 2 more BrickLink people in there to chat us up. So I'm down with that. You got anything else to add in here, Fu?
Oh, same as always. Visit me at FuBricks on BrickOwl and Link. Feel free to place an order. And of course, hashtag SellerStream coupon is still available on my BrickOwl store for 10% off your order.
That's right. And it is available in mine as well over on the BO. We bring that up respectfully after BrickLink has left because we all want to have that type of coupon on BrickLink. BrickLink knows that. We brought it up last time. We don't need to beat these things into their skull. So it doesn't behoove us beating the idea into their skull. That doesn't help anybody. We become bullies. So don't forget to support your independent developers. If you are using a sync tool to sync in between sites, go buy that sucker. Pay that developer. Let them know that there is interest in their product because they're working it for you. I am pushing for something to happen with Brickstock getting improved with the synchronization and everything else, go support them. Let them know that you care, you use it, you need it. If you got anything out of any of this, go buy stuff with somebody or another and show your appreciation, because ultimately that's how you show your appreciation in today's world. Hope everybody enjoyed the interview, enjoyed the questions. If there was questions that were not asked, we will try to get them in the next time. And I will once again post a link to the BrickLink forum, letting you guys know before the next interview to have more questions that come in. Please comment on this video. Please let me know how we're doing as far as these interviews go. This is a brand new type of thing for us. You ever interviewed people before for this type of thing?
No, I never have.
No, I haven't either. It's really weird to do it, especially because I know what the answer is beforehand, but I still have to ask it because you might not, and it feels weird. And the interviewee knows that I know the answer to it, so it's different. But different is sometimes good. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. Please like, comment, subscribe, and all that happy crap that people say at the end of the videos. It actually does make a difference as far as getting these things out there and encouraging other AFOLs or other groups to do these interviews with us as well. We do have lined up in the future more people that are professional Legoists. I'm trying to line up a few ducks right now, but I do have one professional Lego businessman, not a seller, a actual putter together type of job, that is going to be coming in and talking to us about how they started their business, and it's based in Lego. And we thought that that'd be something that might be interesting for you guys. Also hoping to snag the BMR folks and have them come in here too. So nudge, nudge, wink, wink there, Glenn and Kale. Let's make that happen. All right. That's it. That's all. Hope everybody enjoyed it, and we will see you next week.
Have a great week.